Well, hello there. Alright, so on the last video I decided to split this up because why not? I didn't really want to have like a 60-minute video of me talking about my DVDs, so I decided to have a few. Whatever. So let's start over here. This is not as organized. Well, actually nothing's really organized. I tried to organize this, but it was just kind of overwhelming. So they're kind of organized. They're just in the general area. Like, oh, that's kind of science fiction, that's kind of action, that's kind of comedy. That's the way I kind of did it. So I hope you can forgive me for not being entirely organized. This first section is mostly Bruce Campbell and John Carpenter. So that's the order that we're going for here. And the next section is, I think, mostly RiffTrax and stuff like that. Alright, so let's do this. Dark Star, John Carpenter's first movie. It's good. I like it. I bought it on Blu-ray just recently. Sold on Precinct 13, the original and the remake. The remake is fine. It's just they swear like they've never sworn before. And all the cussing sounds really awkward. And if someone's watching me, is a movie that people need to see. People need to see this movie. This is one of John Carpenter's best movies, and no one ever talks about it. Here's a version of Halloween. The original Thing. Escape from New York. The Fog. For a moment I thought this was the remake, and I was like, why the heck do I have this? But I have the John Carpenter's version of The Thing, and then the terrible prequel. I got John Carpenter's Starman, John Carpenter's Christine, John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China, John Carpenter's They Live, John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which is a film directed by John Carpenter, John Carpenter's Escape from L.A., which I find is a guilty pleasure, A Village of the Damned, the John Carpenter version, that I don't hate, but I definitely don't think it's as good as this version. And Children of the Damned is pretty good too, but it's not as good as this one. Vampires, John Carpenter's Vampires. For some reason, I don't understand the hate for this movie. I really don't. I think it's a good movie. And this is the only movie that John Carpenter ever directed that I don't like. It's Ghost of Mars. I hate this movie. Here we have John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns. Not my favorite of his Masters of Horror directorial things. I'm not sure what word I'm looking for here. He directed 2 episodes of Masters of Horror, and this one was my least favorite of the 2, but Pro-Life I thought was really great. Here is my George Romero trilogy. Night of the Living Dead. This is the best version of Night of the Living Dead I think you can get, unless they've released a Blu-ray. I'm not sure. And this is the best version of Dawn of the Dead you could ever get. I would actually recommend skipping over the Blu-ray just to get this version. This is the Scream Factory version of Day of the Dead. You can get this version on Blu-ray just fine. It's probably better than this. I just got it on DVD because I don't know, these 2 are on DVD, so I was like, I might as well just get that one on DVD too. That's the remake of Night of the Living Dead, directed by Tom Savini. It's brilliant. It's either on par or better than the original movie. But if I had the choice, I'd probably pick the original movie just because it's the one I like more. But it's a very good movie. Going Back, Bruce Campbell's second feature film. Very good movie. Fargo, which has a cameo of Bruce Campbell in it. Time Quest, another movie with a cameo by Bruce Campbell. Intolerable Cruelty, another movie with Bruce Campbell. A cameo with Bruce Campbell. The Woods, Bruce Campbell plays a dad in that. The Ice Rink, it's a French movie where Bruce Campbell's the only one who speaks English. Manos Mind, not a very good movie, but Bruce Campbell's in it. Congo, Bruce Campbell's in it for like 2 minutes. The Demolitionist, Bruce Campbell's in it for like 1 minute. Bird Notice, The Fall of Sam Axe, I thought that was better than anything the TV show had to offer, really. Alien Apocalypse, guilty pleasure of mine. Thou Shalt Not Kill Except. Bruce Campbell has a very, very, like, blink and you miss him kind of cameo in it. But they hired a guy who looked very similar to him. Caught Me with a Chance of Meatballs. Bruce Campbell plays a character in that. My Name is Bruce. I love this movie. I really like it. I don't care what anyone says. I like this movie. This movie was made for me. It's fanfare. Tornado. This is a ripoff of Twister. It's the same exact movie. It's the same exact movie, but with Bruce Campbell. So it's better. Man with a Screaming Brain. Another guilty pleasure of mine. Maniac Cop 3. I actually really enjoy all the Maniac Cop movies. I'm kind of surprised they don't get more attention. I feel like they're better than most of the like Freddy and Jason type things. I feel like they're really good. I got the other two right here, Maniac Cop 1 and Maniac Cop 2. And we got Waxwork 1 and 2. Bruce Campbell's in Waxwork 2. I really like Waxwork. I like the first one more than the second one. Oh wait, no. I don't know, I like one more than the other. I like the one with the hand. That's the one I like more. Serving Sarah, Matthew Perry, someone else, and Bruce Campbell. Terminal Invasion, it's a ripoff of The Thing. Has Bruce Campbell in it. Here's this movie called Gold Rush. And Bruce Campbell's character changes every 30 minutes. I actually timed it. Every 30 minutes, Bruce Campbell's character changes. He goes from a love interest to an incompetent jerk to a competitor to a friend to like it just changes every 30 minutes. Touch the Top of the World is actually a movie I've never seen, but Bruce Campbell's in it, and I know he plays a dad. Blaze of Glory is one of two movies made about this Bonnie and Clyde type couple who robs banks. I feel like this was the better of the two movies, but I'd have to watch the other one again. But Bruce Campbell plays the one of the people. This is based on a true story. But I like this version more than the other one. But it might just be my own Bruce Campbell fandom getting in the way. I'd have to watch the other one again. I want to say the other one had Tom Selleck in it, but I'm not sure about that. Bubba Hotep, great movie. Running Time. If you like Alfred Hitchcock's The Rope, I recommend giving this one a shot. Kind of hard to get a hold of, or at least it was when I picked it up. I like this movie quite a bit. I like it more than The Rope. It's a good movie. It's all shot in the illusion of a single take. It's in black and white. It's really good. Bruce Campbell's Assault on Dome 4, which is not a ripoff of Assault on Precinct 13. And this is a bootleg. I bought a bootleg of this movie because no one will ever release it. Because it's that bad. The Majestic, great movie with a cameo by Bruce Campbell. In the Mouth of Madness, it's a John Carpenter movie. The Ward, which is a movie that gets too much hate. This is a good movie. This is a very good movie, and it follows in the footsteps of every John Carpenter movie. Everyone hates John Carpenter's movies until 5 years later. Or 10 years later in some cases. Another bootleg, but they finally officially released this. Sam Raimi actually said he was never going to release this, so I got a bootleg of it. My one worry is that it'll be the American cut of Crime Wave, the official release, and the American cut of Crime Wave is not as good. This is the British cut of Crime Wave, which is called the XYZ Murders, and it's more of a complete movie. They took a lot of sound effects out of the American cut, and they cut a lot of setup for jokes out of the movie, and it's just not as good. But yeah, that's John Carpenter, Bruce Campbell. I hope that's all of them. We had kind of a mishap, and I kind of lost some of them during the move, but hopefully this is all of them. I skipped over this one. This is John Carpenter's Body Bags. And you know what? Let's talk about this. Why not? Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. It's a book. Chimps Could Kill, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor by Bruce Campbell. This is the Love Bug remake with Bruce Campbell. This is Moontrap, which Twilight Time just released a Blu-ray of this, and I gotta pick it up soon. Twilight Time, Olive released Moontrap, and then Twilight Time released Mind Warp. I hope I can still get this. I really like this movie. Evil Dead 2, The 10, Bruce Campbell vs. the Evil Dead Boomstick Edition. This is the best version of Evil Dead you could possibly get. Don't get the Blu-ray. Get get this version. Get the 3-disc Ultimate Edition. Lunatics, A Love Story. I bought this for about $10, and it's now going for $100 on eBay. But I'm not selling it. And this is the best TV show ever made. It's called Briscoe County Jr. No, that's not. I actually am not being sarcastic. I think that and Heroes is like the best shows ever made. Couple Elvira DVDs. Let's move this out of the way. Now these are all out of order, and you remember when I made that? I was trying to make that remake of Manos Hands of Fate. Well, my partner in that ended up really kind of screwing me over, and he stole some of my RiffTrax. So I'm not sure which ones he stole because I have so many, but this is not all of them. I had all of them up to a certain point, but he stole some of them from me, and I got to go find out which ones he stole. But yeah, the whole Manos Hands of Fate remake thing is something that kind of upsets me. I put a lot of work into trying to get that thing off the ground. It was a waste of money, but I'm going to try to do it later. Anyways, let's talk about RiffTrax. We got RiffTrax, the Crater Lake Monster. That was a gift from my girlfriend. It was actually out of print for a little while. RiffTrax Maniac. This is a 1920s movie, and it has boobs in it. And there's actually an excellent joke in here where Mike says, "I bet you didn't know that there was boobs in the 1920s." Voodoo Man, Living Dead, Reefer Madness, Missile to the Moon. That was actually the first RiffTrax I ever bought. Carnival of Souls, House on Haunted Hill, Swing Parade, which is a Three Stooges thing, Plan 9 from Outer Space, The Magic Christmas Tree, Ghost House, Little Shop of Horrors, Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny, Galaxy Invader, Christmas with RiffTrax, Santa Claus's Village of Madness, Shorts Poppin', RiffTrax plays with their shorts, Shorts to Go, Shorts Toberfest, The Wide World of Shorts, Handcrafted Arsenal of Shorts, RiffTrax Shorts Volume 1, RiffTrax Shorts Volume 2, Shorts Tacular, Shorts Stravaganza, Old Timey Shorts Roundup, RiffTrax Live Manos Hands of Fate, RiffTrax Live Christmas, Shorts Stravaganza, I'm sorry, RiffTrax Live, the original Jack the Giant Killer. The reason why it says the original is because the movie that came out just recently called Jack the Giant Slayer was originally going to be called Jack the Giant Killer, but they changed it because they thought Killer was too harsh. Ultimately, Jack the Giant Killer has nothing to do with Jack the Giant Slayer. RiffTrax Live Reefer Madness in color, RiffTrax Live Plan 9 from Outer Space, RiffTrax Live House on Haunted Hill, and this is another RiffTrax Live thing that I downloaded from RiffTrax.com. And it's nothing that you can actually get on DVD. You have to order it. You have to get it straight from their site. And these right here, these few movies here, these are actual movies with commentaries by Mike Nelson of Mystery Science Theater. So here we got Reefer Madness, Plan 9 from Outer Space, House on Haunted Hill, 2 Three Stooges DVDs in here, Swing Parade, and the classic shorts. The classic shorts are introduced by Mike Nelson, Kevin Murphy, and Bill Corbett, but they're going by the title of The Film Crew instead of RiffTrax because they did another thing called Film Crew, which I actually really enjoyed. And I own it, but it's not here right now. It's at the other house. I have a couple movies at the other house. Like my Flash DVD is at the other house. The original Flash show. That's at the other house. And then here we have Cinematic Titanic. We have The Oozing Skull, Doomsday Machine, The Wasp Woman, Legacy of Blood, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, Blood of the Vampires, The Alien Factor, Danger of Tiki Island, War of the Insects, and Rattlers. and East meets Watts. And what I have to say about Cinematic Titanic is if anyone has Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks and they're willing to sell it, just contact me. I am willing to buy it from you. It's the only one I don't have, and I'd be willing to buy it. They're selling it for far too much on eBay, and I can't afford it. So if you want to be nice, and you're like, hey, I don't watch this, you can have it. We can work out something for me to buy it. Roughnecks, this is the TV show based off of Starship Troopers, which I have all the Starship Trooper movies except for the second one. I don't know why I don't have the second one. I prefer it over the third one. But, yeah. And, well, I guess I'll just talk about this, too. I'm a big fan of radio plays, so I have a couple radio plays here. They're all based off of H.P. Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness. The Dunwich Horror, which I want to do reviews of these at some point. The Shadow Out of Time, The Shadow over Innsmouth, one of my favorites. The Case of Charles Dexter Ward. This actually is a 2-disc set, and it's pretty good. And what's this one? The Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, this one's good too. And the company that did those radio plays also made a movie a long time ago called The Testimony of Randolph Calder. It's a student film. It's not very good. However, their second movie, The Call of Cthulhu, which was a silent film from 2005, is actually pretty freaking great. The third movie, I kind of have mixed feelings on this one. I'm going to talk about it at some point. But I have mixed feelings on this one. This is the third movie, and it's decent. It's I guess I'll talk about it now since I don't know when I'll actually make the video. But once they do the story of the Whisper in the Darkness, which is I think like maybe 2/3 of the movie, like once it gets done with that story, it peaks and it never gets as good. And the stuff they made up for it is just kind of not as good. We're going to save the Blu-rays for last. But here we have Hardware Wars, Star Wars, the Ewok movies, Battle for Endor, Caravan of Courage, the good version of the Clone Wars, Volume 1 and 2, the Clone Wars movie, 3 seasons of the Clone Wars TV show. Kind of got a weak spot for it. I know it's not good. The Family Guy Star Wars episodes, the Robot Chicken Star Wars episodes, the worst parodies of Star Trek whatsoever, and then also Thumb Wars. This was kind of a bonus DVD, the Story of Star Wars bonus disc, the original Star Wars movies. Spaceballs, R2-D2 Beneath the Dome, the James Bond movies. I have all the James Bond movies up to. I don't have the Peter Sellers version or the climax version of Casino Royale, but I have everything else. Oh, and I don't have a Skyfall. Dr. No, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, Diamonds Are Forever, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which gets too much hate. This is a good movie. Never Say Never Again, Live and Let Die, The Spy Who Loved Me, Octopussy, View to a Kill, Moonraker, Man with the Golden Gun, From Russia with Love, For Your Eyes Only. I actually really like the Timothy Dalton versions of James Bond, The Living Daylights, License to Kill, GoldenEye, The World Is Not Enough, Tomorrow Never Dies, and apparently I'm the only one who likes Die Another Day. I really like Die Another Day. It's just the right level of stupid for me. I really like it. And I have Casino Royale, but it's over there. It's a special box set, so it's over there. And then I have Quantum of Solace. These are quite possibly the only good found footage movies. This one is just fantastic. It's just a fantastic movie. Rec, you know, I would call myself a filmmaker to the point that I've directed a PSA, I've done a couple documentaries. Nothing that you could really like directly find by looking at my name, but I could direct you to them if it really mattered to you. But as a person who did that, when I watch found footage movies, they're just really hard to watch because they're just so bad. The first Rec is anyone who's ever done something with film can relate to this movie in a way like all the action, like the camera always turns on like in the middle of an action sequence or like once it's almost over. Like they couldn't, like something that would actually happen. And then there's like I have a personal pet peeve with found footage movies where like the camera will just turn on and people will awkwardly walk into frame and discuss what's going on. And this movie doesn't do that. It does something similar to it, but someone kicks the camera and it turns on. And everything's out of focus and you just see one person's foot. And it's only for a brief moment, and then the guy stops and he's like, shoot, the camera's on. And you can tell that the conversation continues after the camera's off. There's a terrible remake of it in America called Quarantine. It's not worth your time. Rec 2 is a really fun movie. It's not as good as the first one, but it's an extension of the first movie, really. They have it's about soldiers going into the building of the first movie, and they have GoPros on their cameras. It's kind of like watching a video game, really. I really enjoy Rec 3. I know a lot of people don't. It kind of took an Evil Dead route and tried to make a horror comedy, and I think it pulled it off, honestly. There are some moments that made me laugh out loud, and there's some moments that kind of scared me. I think it was a good balance of horror and comedy, and it drops the whole found footage thing after 20 minutes. Which is kind of good because the fourth movie's coming out and I can't wait for that. And here, I'll try to do these in order. Star Trek: The Motion Picture, Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek: The Search for Spock, Star Trek: The Voyage Home, Star Trek: The Final Frontier, Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country, Star Trek Generations, Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Insurrection, Star Trek Nemesis, and then I got a bootleg version of the 2009 movie, and as well as the 2009 movie, and then I have Star Wreck, which is not good, and then I have all the Stargate movies, Stargate, Star Trek, Stargate, Children of the Gods, Final Cut, which sucks. I'd rather watch the original version, which is not edited as well, but it's still better. Stargate Arc of Truth, Stargate Continuum,